Morning. I may as well go for a walk. I'm on the bed here, and it looks like the drizzling has stopped. We've just had another 10 millimeters of rain, which is more than handy because the mountain was already saturated from the 70 or 80 or I don't know 85 millimeters of rain that we've had. So if you've got another 10 millimeters running shortly after that, I thought let's go and see what the waterfall looks like again, because tomorrow is the longer walk, which will be 21 kilometers. Now why sit around and wait for tomorrow if we may as well go and have a look and see what something else looks like, try and get the feel of the direction that we're going to be going. And it's I'll tell you more as we start tomorrow's hike. I aim to start at about 7 o'clock and should be at the Outeniqua Pass at 4 o'clock. Then get picked up at the top of Outeniqua Pass. Anyway, let's go have a look and see what this waterfall looks like. I wouldn't be surprised if it's above average, at least, after this handy 10 millimeters of rain. You know the drill. First thing we do, go through this gate here. I haven't got a rain jacket on, but that doesn't matter so much to me. I don't really mind getting wet. I've got the GoPro, and that doesn't matter if it gets wet either. Good thing is that I can hear the rain. No, not the rain. I can hear the water in the nearest stream. That tells me the stream where we're going to is definitely going to have some water. Around this corner and then up towards the gate. Now this looks interesting. We've got two trucks here. One of two things. Either it belongs to Waterworks, hopefully more likely Transnet. Yes, Transnet. Followed by Transnet Freight Rail. Nice labour seats at the back of this one. It's like a bus. This one. Through the gate. I would love to know where this money's coming from. Whether it is actually, whether Transnet has suddenly got some money. As far as I know, they're supposed to be bankrupt. But who's complaining? I just remember the person that was in charge of offloading the sleepers when I was up at the train saying that they don't work for Transnet. So he's referring to him and the labour at the back busy offloading the sleepers. He said they're not working for Transnet, but for an independent contractor. So anyway, who knows where the money's coming from, who's in charge, but things are happening. And you could find that there was another truck. I've seen a normal truck on the railway line, obviously with its special wheels, perfectly capable of going along the railway line. And maybe it actually picked up the labour here at this T-junction to take them to the places where things need to be done. Tomorrow we're heading in this direction for 21 kilometers, and it's going to be 3.5 kilometers of railway line, followed by 3 to 3.5 kilometers to the dam. May as well talk about it as I actually start doing it and give a brief description as I go along. Anyway, may as well cut this short now and save the rest for the waterfall. I'm sure on this mic, I hope on this mic you can hear the first stream there. That there is the water, if you can actually hear it. that one hears from home, and we're not right next to it. This here can take you to the reservoirs at the bottom. 2 square reservoirs. Anyway, I'll record now. Followed by a nice piece of indigenous forest. People coming. Nice, you remember the 2 trucks? Transnet trucks. Just spoke to 2 guys that were busy on the walking along the railway line here. And they're obviously staff members. And they're busy putting in the sleepers. That's great news. I'm so wondering so much as to what's going to happen once the time ever comes that they've all been laid in. Is it only going to be the power van that runs up? Or are we going to have the very, very good old days where the main locomotive comes past at 4 o'clock in the morning? That would be very nice. I was going to stop and then record later when we get to the waterfall, but we're so close to it already. Listen to this call. If you're busy listening to this video, still got a fair amount of water coming here. Over here. Sure is one solid piece of cement here that they laid. And may as well carry on recording since this is our favorite area. Steeply down. Anyone that's watched the previous video, if there is anybody, will know that it's steep down to the waterfall. Now I know something I've worked out with this GoPro is that it becomes a bit deurmekaar, like they say in Afrikaans. It becomes a bit uncertain and seems to think when it hears water that it's wind. So the sound changes the whole time. It seems to think it's obligated to filter the sound of the water because it thinks it's wind. And then suddenly, if the water's not too loud, it goes back to the other sound. Creates the impression that the microphone has some sort of blockage or something that opens up and closes and opens up and closes. But I've managed to work out what the problem is. Same thing happened when I was at the old dam and they were opening the sluices. It doesn't happen when you're walking at a place where there's no water and no wind. It just stays, microphone stays on that level. Yeah, you're going to probably hear it change to and fro again because it might think it's wind.
I don't know if it's recording. I just got a message on the GoPro that there's not enough card space. I can't understand that because I'm sure I deleted everything. So I don't know why. And suddenly it says it's busy recording, but just after it said to me there's not enough card space. So I'll only know once I've plugged it into the PC whether it's actually busy recording or not. Anyway, let's see what happens if I try and take a photo. Ten times better than sticking around at home. And Cole, if you happen to be listening to this movie, at least you can hear the water. This water you hear, Carl, is water coming under the bridge of the railway line. Unlikely, but if there's anybody watching wondering why I'm referring to Carl describing things, is because he's blind. Not a setback to him in life. He goes hiking with us, he goes cycling, you name it. But I know he appreciates a video or two where you can actually hear things as well. And isn't that nice to hear the sound of the water? I made a point of not interrupting too much, but we'll see. Like I was saying earlier, I wouldn't be surprised once it's connected to the PC that you're going to hear different levels of, not necessarily volumes, but you'll hear what I mean, because I'm convinced that this GoPro thinks It's got to filter out some wind sound, because it maybe does sound similar to a strong wind. And the only other time I had this was when there was an incredible amount of water coming out at the old dam when they opened the sluices, and I immediately thought there's something wrong with the camera, only to notice this doesn't happen when you're far away from water or any background sounds, strong background sounds. Then it stays on that level sound recording. Anyway, it's not that much of an effort to actually go to the stream again, this very same water, but around to the inside of the forest there. You've been there if you've ever watched the video. Let's go and see. This water definitely would have been lower had it not been for these extra quick 10 millimeters of rain we've had overnight. I mean, obviously it's a bit lower than the day I went and walked in the rain while we were having those 75 or 80 millimeters of rain, because I think that I caught that in its peak at that stage. Tomorrow is going to be fun. I know the section that leads from the dam, from the old dam up to the hut, is probably going to be hopelessly overgrown. Just enough to sort of see there's supposed to be a trail kind of thing, and I'm wondering whether I should take 2 pairs of shoes, take these Rockies there, and then my normal boots, so that when I go through the muddy parts I may as well see if I can fit those enormous boots into my mid-sized backpack and walk in the muddy section with these Rockies, so that the shoes remain dry for the rest of the trail. Otherwise they are going to be sopping wet by the time I get to the top at the hut, and still need to go another 17-18 kilometers from there. Anyway, one can never take too many socks and they don't weigh anything. I'm just going to put in like at least three pairs of socks. There's pros and cons, because it's going to be a muddy terrain, but where you've got mud, you've got water running as well at all kinds of little places. You are very likely to see 1 or 2 streams that don't normally run in the section from the railway line to the old dam, that level section, not to mention the opposite side of the catchment area. I'll remain quiet and you can hear the water getting louder and louder. Beautiful sound, isn't it? Actually, if I really wanted to, that water's low enough to be able to, or just low enough to be able to see where some of the rocks are beneath the water, to be able to step on if I felt like walking all along it. Just not with tackies or shoes. Definitely with rockies or something that you're willing to get sopping wet. Barefoot, for all you know. Barefoot would be the best if I was like some other people who, you get those kind of people that go barefoot everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I wish I was like that. Shoes, tackies, boots wouldn't cost a fortune. Look at that mist, that fog. It looks like rain, but it's heavy fog. I don't know if you can see it. I've got labourers walking on the railway line there again. I don't know if it's there. Look there, against that gorge there, or quarry if you want to call it that, or at the waterworks tank. It's like heavy fog. Normally when you get that in the morning, that means there's some hot temperatures coming, but not today. Interesting weather. Makes me feel like I'm in some forests in Florida, or those Blue Mountains in Australia. I think it's the Blue Mountains. Anyway, it's just this piece of path, then the piece of railway line, back to the gate. But it was worthwhile coming to see how much water was in here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Camera this. Oh no, it's making video. I want to take short video. These are the people of the Transnet, eh?
Yes.
These are people of Transnet. They're going to put the sleepers in, eh? They're going to put the sleepers in on the railway line here, and we're very, very happy that they're going to be putting it on. We appreciate it muchly. One day when all the sleepers are on, then the train can come. You must go like this. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you also. Oh, let me take a photo now. This is video. Now I want to take a photo. I know the end of my previous video clip sounded like I'm at the end of my video, but I've just spoken to the people of Transnet, and boy did I now learn something interesting today. They finished with the day's work. All they do is lay in 5 sleepers per day. 5 sleepers per day, and their work is done. Now admittedly, even one sleeper, it's heavy stuff that. So what's the time here now? About 10:30. Close, heading for 11 o'clock, and their work for the day is done. That is their what's the word? Rate. I'll think of the word now. 5 sleepers per day. Try and work that out now. Minimum of 2,000 sleepers that are concrete sleepers that need to be laid. Possibly close to 3,000. Trains and trains worth of sleepers that were brought and offloaded. And what they do is they lay in 5. But they're working tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be going past them anyway. The route that with my hiking I'm doing tomorrow, odds are that I'll be going past them. So there you go. Very interesting work. Heavy sleepers, but nothing more than 5 per day. That's going to take them years. We've got lots of time.